Picture this, and I know you've been there if you've been playing Infinity Kingdom enough. You just got off work, you got 15 minutes till reset, you haven't done Mysterium. Alright, we've all been there. That's fine. You're trying to figure out, should I even bother doing this? Yeah, you should probably bother doing this, alright? You gotta stop skipping Mysterium. The rewards are too good. It gives you everything you need. And if you don't do this, well, you can't complain when you get rolled in a 1v1 because, well, you've just been too lazy about it, alright? You just need to get Mysterium done. So that's what we're here to do, alright? 10 minutes and less Mysterium, let's get it. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Snowy. I've been playing this game for 510 days straight. Yes, I know what you're thinking. That is 510 days straight of Mysterium. Why, oh why, would somebody do this to themselves? Well, there's only one good reason for it, and that's because it's too good to pass up on. You're getting gold, resources, speed ups, you're getting soul gems or immortal shards, and you're getting artifact pieces. You need all of those things to progress your account, and you're pretty much always going to need them, so you need to get this done. First things first, if you're a new player, take the path of least resistance. You're going to want to hit earth marches and water marches. They do the least amount of damage to your march because the dragon doesn't do any true damage or anything like that, and it'll save you a lot of HP. You'll be able to make it further into the Mysterium. As a new player, every time you possibly can, you're going to want to grab extra immortals from the immortal shrines. The more immortals you have to work with, the more likely it is you'll be able to make it through the entirety of the Mysterium, which is the goal. You need to get to the end to be able to get the best rewards. As your immortals get weaker from fighting all the different bosses in the Mysterium, you're going to need to switch them out with full health immortals until you can get to a healing shrine that'll give all the immortals that are wounded 30% extra health, and that'll help you sustain throughout the Mysterium. If your immortal dies, you can choose to reborn your immortal at one of these reborn shrines here. It's just a little blue water fountain on the screen here. And you basically have to give up some rewards for it, but if it means that you can make it further into the Mysterium as a new player, you're going to have to do that. As a more experienced player doing Mysterium, the name of the game is doing it as quickly as possible. As you can see, once you defeat a Mysterium boss, you have the option of picking between one of 3 lost souls. As an experienced player, this isn't going to matter at all. Your march is already going to be strong enough to be able to clear Mysterium. You should be taking 1 to 2 seconds, clicking the one that looks the best to you, and then just moving on. Don't give it too much thought. These lost souls add a specific skill to your march, making it a little bit easier to clear Mysterium. Throughout the entire Mysterium, you should be trying to attack the highest difficulty of mortal boss that you can to get the most rewards. For example, here I have 3 paths that I could choose, and I end up choosing the path with the chest and the blue immortal boss to give me the most rewards in this specific section. Whichever side you decide to start on, you should be trying to prioritize the colors that you need the most of, depending on the artifact that you choose. So in this example, I need green and blue ones, so I'm trying to prioritize getting those green and blue ones before moving on to the other side. After moving to the other side, I'll be focusing on getting just the remaining 2 green ones, and then the rest will be just resource and speed up chest to make it easy to make it through the rest of Mysterium. As a new player, if you're having trouble completing the other side because you don't have a strong enough second march, what you can do is you can switch your skills from your main march over to your secondary march to give them a little bit more strength, as well as switching the dragon over. So if you have a strong water dragon and you're a relatively new player, you can use that water dragon to help your march sustain throughout the Evernight Labyrinth on the easy side. As you can see here, once I've completed my artifact piece after I get this last green immortal boss, I have a choice between picking between a green rarity immortal boss or a Mysterium chest for resources and speed ups. If you have a choice between the chest or an immortal boss, it's always better to get the immortal boss when it's at its highest difficulty. So you should probably pick up the immortal boss when it's a purple difficulty. That'll give you the most gold. And then when you have a green difficulty versus a Mysterium chest, it's better to pick up the resource and speed up chest then. That'll help you maximize your rewards in Mysterium. Here I notice my con is getting really low, so I decided to switch my water dragon, over to my main march to help it survive. This is probably what the water dragon is best at, to be honest. Trying to abuse it to get more rewards in Mysterium is probably where you'll find the most value with the water dragon. There's just other better dragons for PvP out there, so keep that in mind. Again, by prioritizing the paths with the highest rarity of boss and the colors that you need first, You get 4 of those done on the one side, you're always going to be able to complete your artifact on the other side, and you won't have to look up and down the section of Mysterium to plan your path. It'll just be easy for you to do that way, and it'll save you a lot of time. Speaking of saving time, if you're scrolling throughout the map in Infinity Kingdom, or you're in your castle not doing anything, you might as well just get Mysterium done ahead of time. If you're having a hard time with Mysterium, you can always put attack, defense, crit, and dodge boosts on to make it easier. Anything that makes your march stronger is going to benefit you in Mysterium, so putting on the health points castle is also going to be useful. Only use Hearts of Norheim to revive all your immortals if you're sure that you're going to get to the end of whatever floor it is you're currently on to at least take advantage of getting those rewards. If, let's say it's floor 3 and you get to the end, that's an extra like 1100 soul gems and some speed ups and resources that you're going to get. So it's definitely going to be worth it for you to use them then. If you can't make it to the end of whatever floor you're on, then maybe consider saving it for a time that you would be able to. At the start of the game, you're not going to have very many Hearts of Norheim to work with unless you're spending, so definitely use them sparingly. After playing the game for a while, you'll have way more Hearts of Norheim than you'll ever need to revive your immortals, so just use them in the interest of saving time. Never spend gems on the merchants that give you immortal shards, P shields, and teleports. There are better things to spend your gems on. If you're not VIP 15 yet, you should be spending your gems on VIP during the board game events. If you do have to purchase P shields or teleports because you have none and you really need some, then only purchase it when they're at their cheapest. So I think for P shields it's 120 gems, and for teleports it's 200 gems. Avoid taking any path with a merchant, a healing token, a revive, or an immortal shrine if you're an experienced player. Go for the rewards every time. I recommend leveling up all of your marches to at least level 20 or 30 if you can, very early into the game. It doesn't cost very much experience to level your immortals up to 20, and it's going to help you a decent amount when finishing off bosses at the end of the floor that you're on. After completing Mysterium more than one day in advance, you can laugh maniacally at your friends as they struggle to complete Mysterium with 10 minutes left before a reset. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you have Zenobia or Theodore or anything that heals, basically, you're going to want to use that. It's going to allow you to get through Mysterium without having to switch out Immortals, and that's also going to save you some time. Completing Mysterium on multiple accounts every 2 days is definitely going to pay off for you in the long run. If you're already doing this, you're just different. You're an absolute animal, and you have focus like nobody else. Like I mentioned before, at the end of this section of Mysterium, I'm picking the higher tier immortal bosses to fight rather than going for the resources chests, and earlier into the Mysterium I was picking the resources chests over the green tier immortals. If you're still struggling to fight the more difficult immortal bosses like the lightning, the wind with anti-heal, and the shadow marches, then don't be afraid to just go for the resource chest. It's still going to be very beneficial to you. When you get to the end boss, make sure you use all of your immortals that you possibly can before using any Hearts of Norheim to revive them. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Thanks for tuning in to this Mysterium video. I appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end. If you don't mind, throw a like on the video, subscribe, put anything in the comments that you think I might have missed about Mysterium. And all of you have a great rest of your day, and never give up. Cheers.